Season 2, The Unfinished War. Chapter 6, Let There Be Carnage. Deku walked into his broken-down house and into his basement. While inside, he heard the roaring of carnage growing closer. Deku left the door open for a moment as he heard the sound of crashing and the roaring of carnage. Carnage was inside his house. Deku slammed and locked the door to his basement and used a secret exit to leave the room. He climbed out the secret exit not too far away from his house. He set up a turret and grabbed multiple of his airstrike grenades. Deku sat in his turret and watched as carnage rampaged around his house, destroying everything in sight. Deku threw 3 airstrikes in the air, and they all landed on the roof of his house. They all activated, and the sound of a strike warning played loud enough to hear across the whole island, sending small missiles that were instantly created by nanobots down onto the area of his house, with carnage inside. The missiles set fire to the entire house, and the screeches of carnage grew louder, angrier. Deku started firing his turret at the house where he saw carnage. Deku later heard the screaming of a man inside carnage. The fire started to gather around the house and inside, covering the whole place in its smoke. Carnage's screams stopped. Deku assumed he had died. Deku started gathering his weapons when he noticed something was moving inside his house. He said to himself, "No, there's no possible way." Outside the remains of Deku's house, Carnage walked out, still on fire as he did. Carnage looked to the sky, roared, stared at Deku, then ran towards him. Carnage grabbed the turret and used it to hit Deku, sending him off the mountain and into the river below. Carnage jumped down and grabbed Deku out of the water, pinning him to the wall. Carnage transformed back into the man in the red jacket, who spoke to Deku. "Now I don't know who you are, but you have no right interfering with my business. Cletus Cassidy, nice to meet you. My name's Deku. Now, listen closely. You're gonna tell me where I am. You're gonna send me back, and then I'm gonna kill you and Eddie Brock. You're on my island, and I need agents. You could be helpful to me and help me win this war that I'm in." "I don't think you understand. You're gonna bring me back to my place. Take me to my Francis, my soon-to-be wife." "So, you want to kill me?" "That's what's gonna happen." Deku grabbed an airstrike grenade from his belt and armed it. "Goodbye, Deku." Cletus Cassidy transformed into Carnage, and Carnage held Deku's face close to his mouth. Carnage opened his mouth, about to eat Deku. Deku threw the airstrike that he had armed into Carnage's mouth. Carnage immediately dropped Deku as he felt multiple sensations at once. The loud sound of the airstrike emanated inside Carnage, causing Carnage to shake uncontrollably as the explosion of missiles attempting to be formed inside of him exploded instantly, setting Carnage on fire. All of these things caused Carnage to start deteriorating. Cletus Cassidy began to scream as Carnage roared. Carnage separated from Cletus. The Carnage symbiote was on the ground burning, then slowly died. Cletus laid on the ground, staring at the dead symbiote in shock. All of his plans were ruined. Deku stood above Cletus and pulled out his pistol, pointing it to Cletus's head. "Goodbye, Cletus." Deku shot Cletus in the head multiple times, then walked back to the dead symbiote and stared at it. He saw a small piece of the symbiote still moving and grabbed a vial from his bag and trapped it inside, sealing the lid of it. He stared at the vial and the symbiote inside, smiling. The only thing that survived in Deku's house was his basement that was made of his golden touch. He grabbed his bag and walked towards his house. There was still much work to be done, and he still had to repair his house. After Deku started to repair his house very quickly, using all the resources that he had, Flashback walked up to the dead body of Cletus Cassidy, took it, then walked back to his new base. He said to himself, "Carnage can still come. Just wait." From a distance, Eddie Brock watched Flashback go to his new base, talking to himself, or rather, to Venom. "So, what should we do?" "I say we his face, then go home in 3 days. No, we can't do that. I want to see where he's gonna go. We find his base, we trap him, and find out what he's gonna do with Cletus's dead body. And maybe we can see if that guy can help us get back." And still waiting. "I agree. As long as we can get back to our universe. This place hurts my head." "What do you mean it hurts your head? You're symbiote. You don't feel anything." "This universe has a history. Something powerful once lay below this island. Something is happening here." "Alright, well, you let me know when you're done talking about the fate of whatever, and I'm gonna go follow that guy in the hood." "Alright then, Eddie. Let's go follow him." Eddie Brock stood up from his hiding area and walked, following Flashback to his new base. And that is Season 2, The Unfinished War, Chapter 6, Let There Be Carnage. I promised you that Flashback would be a big part of this, and it's starting to unfold. The biggest thing is still yet to come. And I'm about to upload a new video soon. An in-person video of Deku talking to someone that he knew quite a long time ago. Stay tuned for that video, and stay tuned for the next episode. I'll see you then. Goodbye.